Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joshua from tagg. In this video we would learn more on how to access elements in a list. So I have on my console a clean console, and on my editor pane I have the code we used for the previous video. So let's quickly run through the codes we used for the previous video. So what we did in line 1 was to create a vector, and then we started with the concept of adding Joshua to a numeric vector and everything turns character. And here we created a list object, and then we combined the vector, a character, a function, and then a matrix object, and then that leads us to what we have as vec_list. What we did here was to confirm the result of the main in the previous video, and then we give the vector_list variable a name, and then we started the concept of this accessing right here. So let's quickly run what we have here. Like vec_list is a list object storing a vector, character, a function, and then a matrix. So if I run this, let's use this to start how to access a list object. So when I run the object, the result, I have here the vector, the character, the main, result of the main function, and the last, the matrix. So how do we access, like how do you index elements in each of these lists? Don't forget when we were talking of a vector, let's say I have vec, and I say this is combination 1, 2, 4, 5. So if I run this, vec is a value, not a data. So I'll still make a good clarification between what value stands for and what data stands for. So if you're into index like 5 out, 5 alone, here you say vec, and then you use the square bracket. 5 is in position 4, so you put 4. So you index with respect to the position, and then okay, we're not reassigning. So if you run this, you will see you will have 5 alone. So but in the case of a list, how do we index a list? That's what we're learning now. So if I run this again, vec_list. So let's take, for instance, I'm interested in seeing the matrix alone. How do I index it out? So most times I always want us to pay attention to results on arrow programming. Whatever arrow programming displays, it is not just for fun. There are a lot of informations that you can learn and get from it. If you look at what we have on vec, you saw when we ran this code in line 16, we have this on the global environment vec, and we have NUM, and you look at, we have this square bracket 1, special operator 4, and then we have the square bracket closed. So what this is telling us is that, come guy, in case you want to index any of the values we have in this variable vec, always use this square bracket and then put the position. This 1 to 4 stands for the position. So if you want to index one of them, you just put one position, that's position 4, like we did there. And what they're also trying to tell you here is that you can also index range of numbers. So that is, I can say 2 to 4, right? And if you run this, you are going to get like 2, 4, and 5. That's what that stands for. Now if you look at the result of the list, you would see that there is an information arrow is trying to pass to us, that in this case, if you are to index a list, you use a double square bracket. So let's take, for instance, I'm interested in the result of the matrix alone. So I'll just say vec_list, and then I'll use double bracket, and it's going to give me 4. But let me just give us this. Even if you use a single bracket, look at, but we need to be careful. If you use a single bracket, it will print out this for you, the matrix alone. But for you to index a list, don't get used to using just a single bracket. Get used to using a double square bracket. So vec_list double, and then you put 4. So you have your result, and I'm going to tell us why this is happening. If you check the result we have here now, you will see it just printed out the matrix for us. But if you check the result of what we did on line 19, you will see before it prints out the matrix, it tells you the right order you should use, and then it prints out the whole thing for you. You might get yourself in problem if you keep using this one in line 19 instead of the one we have in line 20. So this is one way in which you can index elements in a list. So let's check again. Imagine I'm interested in having bringing out just the vector objects that we have in the list. So I will just say vec underscore list, and then I use my double bracket again. That object is the first one, so it's in 1. So if I run this, then I have that vector object alone, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's go back again. Another way in which you can index is what we did here in line 14. You can index with the name. So that means I'm giving everything a name again, and then I check vec underscore list. So since I've given them a name, so accessing them with the double square bracket, you see, you can no longer find that option. So to do this now, to access any of the elements you have in the list, you have to use the $sign. So let's say vec underscore list, and then when I use the $sign, let's say I'm interested in a character object that has my name, and then if I run this, I just have Joshua alone. At the same time, if I say vec underscore list and I use the double square bracket and I put 2, I'm also still going to get Joshua. So this is a simple way in which you can access elements in a list using the double square bracket, or you could use the $sign in the case when the list is named, and you would have the result printed out. So it is also possible that you reassign an object. It is possible you update it. For instance, I'm just going to build it up from something simple. What we can see, we have an object called vec, a variable called vec that has just 1, 2, 4, and 5. We have done this in the previous video. So I told us with the concept of indexing, we can also replace or reassign. So this guy that has 1, let's say this is the score of the students in my class, tells me that no, over 10 his score is 9. So I'm going to change his score from 1 to 9. I'm going to update it. So I know I'm going to do this now. I'm going to index this guy with respect to the variable name and the position the guy is in the variable. So this is the variable name vec, where the object is stored, and then what is its position? Position 1. If I print this, I'm definitely going to have 1, which is the first value. And then what I'm going to do is that I don't want that one again. The guy said it doesn't get 1, so his result is 9. So if I run this, the value is updated on the global environment, not as 1 again, but now as 9. So the way we can do this with a vector, we can also update a list. Then how do we do it? So let's take, for instance, in the list we have, I'm going to print out the result of this vec underscore list again for us to see. So we have the vector object as 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take, for instance, I want to rename the vector object. I want to update it from 1, 2, 3, 4 to like 5, 6, 7, 8. So how do we go about it? Let's see this. And let me tell us the reason why I always want us, when indexing a list, not to use that single bracket, square bracket. Look at it. So I'm going to say vec underscore list, and then I use the square bracket. I know the vector is the first in the list, and then I'm doing this and I'm saying 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I run this, look at it, does print out something, but it brings a warning message. This number of items to replace is not a multiple of replacement length. So why is it bringing this? Is because it doesn't understand what you are doing with this just one single bracket. If I run this whole thing again, check out, You see, the vector object, it just brings it out as just 5. So it just brings, it use this first one. So why is doing this is that it's telling you that no, if what you are trying to do is to access the first object in the list, then the double bracket must be used. So if I put double bracket now, look at what's going to happen. If I add one bracket to this, no, this is not a curly bracket, the square bracket, and I run this, let's check what happens to the result of the vec list. So if I scroll up, you would see this is the best way to access a list, and the best way to also update a list. So that's one very nice way to do that. So I could change again what we have in the second, which is character object, which is Joshua. I could say vec underscore list, and then square bracket again 2. That is where I have my name Joshua. So I can change it to a friend's name and say Chirag, and then run it. So if I check the updated version of vec underscore list, let's see what we have. So it is now changed from Joshua to Chirag. So at the same time, since it is named already, I can use the name. I can say vec underscore list $, and then I'm changing where we have Chirag, and I'm saying this, and I'm changing it to another friend, Giordano, and then I run this. So if I check the updated version of vec underscore list, let's see. So I have Giordano. So it's possible for me to remove a certain element in a list. So that is where the concept of the null is important. Let's take, for instance, I want to remove the function, this function in the third position in the list. So I could say vec underscore list, and then I use the double square bracket, and then I'm saying this is null. I don't want to say this again. So if I run this and then I check the updated version of my vec list, let's see. So it is out. You won't see that object again that has a name. So at the same time, I can also remove the matrix. The matrix is initially in the 4th position, but now because I've removed the function, so automatically this is now taking a 3rd position. Let's see, maybe it will work. Oh, it does work, because yes, it will work, and then we'll still have 3 of them back again. We have 3 of them back again. We still have that func. Okay, so we have it back. Vec this, the matrix object, so it does remove it. Or let's put 3 and let's see it. So perfect. So the matrix is out, and we just have the vector object and the character object with the name Giordano. So this is the way in which you can index elements in a list, either using the double square bracket, or if your list object has been named, you can use it with a $, and provide the name. And at the same time, it is possible for you to exclude, to remove a certain element in a list, and that is what we've done with what we have on the code in line 35. So I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for choosing to learn R with me. So if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so, and you can turn on the notification bell for you to get more updates on my videos. And I pray God bless you and increase you in wisdom. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye.